Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am up on the Crafty Maven getaway with Scraplift It, and I am scrapbooking this layout that belongs to Shamel. Now this is a layout that she made for 4x6 Photo Love. This kind of set up for the page with 3 photos across the page is something I do pretty regularly when I have 3 photos. Now my photos are not great, but they are important photos to me because Virgin America is no longer around as a brand, so it's important to me that when I have these photos that they go into my album even if the photo quality is poor. So I'm going to scrap lift Shamel and probably put a little twist on it. So let's see what I can do. Now I did speed this video up. For some reason this layout took me a very long time to complete. I wish I could scrapbook this fast because look at this. Like things are just making, like things are happening. So I had this basically torn off piece of paper that I wanted to use for this layout as well. I really like doing this particular style of layout with 3 photos straight across the page. I just feel like it is a way to get multiple photos on a page and you still have plenty of room to decorate your page up and make it beautiful or however you're feeling to make your page that day. Whimsical, fun, beautiful, whatever you're feeling. Now this is a 12 by 12 border stamp from Darkroom Door, and if you have not had the pleasure of scrapbooking or stamping with Darkroom Door products, you need to get yourself to darkroomdoor.com or whatever store sells their products and get yourself some of their stamps. I had heard of Darkroom Door and never really scrapbooked or stamped with any of their products. However, I went to Creativation and I absolutely fell in love with the rubber stamps. As you can see, they are unmounted. The quality of that rubber is like it's soft and supple and it just feels so good and it stamps so well. Like it's an amazing thing. So here we go. I have stamped across the top of my page. Now Shamel had also stamped across the top of her page. She had like a doily kind of stamp thing going on. Now I have decided that I really want to create something up here to mimic what is going on in Shamel's layout, but I don't want my border strip to be all the way at the top. And that's because I want the stars to really shine and show through. And while the red is not exactly a Virgin America red, it's close enough for my layout, and I just really want to showcase that. So I have this My Mind's Eye, basically it's like a dotted Swiss cardstock, and I'm just trimming up little pieces of it to just give me something to work with underneath. And I have these 2 little thin bits up at the top and this thicker one at the bottom, and I'm really liking how this is coming together. So I have these kind of like bright primary-ish colors with my airplane. I have the bright white, and then we also have the craft, and I'm just really enjoying how they all look together. Now I do have some wayward stamping lines, and I'm going to take care of that. I do not have a sand eraser. That would be the way I would do it if I actually had a sand eraser, but I don't. So we'll move on from that. Now these are some basically pocket page scrapbooking cards. And pocket page scrapbooking cards don't have to go into a pocket. I think that is probably one of the biggest tips I can tell you about any kind of pocket page scrapbooking, whether it's a Project Life card or a Snap card or any other kind of card. Fun fact, they don't have to go into a pocket. You can cut them up, you can die cut, you can punch out things out of them. You can fussy cut them like I did with this airplane. You can trim them down and make them a title like I did with this Dare to Fly. Just all kinds of fun things you can do. Oh, excuse me. So now these are some tiny little foam squares. I love me some tiny little foam squares. I actually love me some foam squares all over the place. Small ones, large ones, you name it, I like it. So I've pulled out the VA off of this kind of epoxy thickers pack. Now, it does spell out vacay down there at the bottom, VACAY, but honestly, I hate the term vacay. It just, I don't know what it is. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. So I decided to pull off the V and A, and hopefully one day I will be on a Disney cruise and we will travel to Castaway Cay and I can use the CAY for that. So, just know that is my hope. That is my hope. So I did take the white Uniball Signo pen and I just went ahead and marked where my photos went across the page. And then I'm going to use this trim. Now this trim came from my friend JoJo. I got it in a kit that she had made for our retreat. She had made a couple kits as prizes, and it was like a travel-y kind of themed kit. And I really just love this pom-pom trim. So I just marked that down with the white pin so I knew exactly where it was going to go. And then I'm going to double up on my trims here. So this is a blue and white striped kind of ribbony type thing. And that came along with one of my Secret Not Secret Kit Club kits. Man, look how fast I can erase that adhesive off of there. I wish I could do it that fast. Now I'm just using some washi tape to hold the ribbon onto the page there. And I'm trying to figure out how to set up this little Dare to Fly thing. Now, here's what I do to rub off the paper. Basically, I do a little lick on my eraser. I know that might be gross, but I lick the edge of the eraser and just rub away at the paper. And basically what it does is it peels the top layer of the paper off. And I am okay with it. I just am. So I have the Dare to Fly, and I'm going to mat that onto this white and red paper that was in a Pink Fresh Studio Out and About 6x6 paper pad. And then I've got this piece of the 6x6 paper pad, and I'm cutting out things that I know that I will want to use here. So I'm just cutting out bits and pieces and trying to figure out which ones would be best with the colors that I have going on and the scale of the pieces. I know I didn't want to have a whole bunch of teeny tiny pieces. And that little airplane keeps moving around. And now I'm just building little bits. So I am being sure not to cover up the Dare to Fly, but kind of the squiggly bits that are on there as well. Like, I don't mind covering those up whatsoever. I'm trying to figure out what other little things I can bring in here to just liven it up a little bit and give it a little bit of pizzazz. I really like this city sticker that came on that basically epoxy thicker sticker sheet. And I'm just trying to figure out a way that I can include that up here on this big like embellishment title cluster thing I have going on up here. So I think I figure it out, and I'm trying to figure out where I want the VA to go, and I decide that it really pops over here on the photo itself, and it does. And that purple is not actually like bad photo coloring. In the Virgin America aircraft, they would have mood lighting, and that was one of the colors that would come up, and it was gorgeous, you guys. If you ever had the opportunity to fly on a Virgin America flight, you definitely had an amazing opportunity. They were just amazing with their service, and like the inside of the aircraft were just phenomenal. And if you never got the opportunity, I'm sorry. You still have the opportunity to fly on these aircraft, even though they are being switched over a little bit since Alaska bought them out. Now here is a huge old camera up there, and I'm not sure if that stays. I'm looking at it right now and I'm thinking, why is that up there? Yep, there we go, Sandy, take that off. Doesn't look good. Now, one of my favorite things to do is to take two banners like this and overlap them and tuck them under something. So I do that over here at the title. I definitely like that going on there. And then I am trying to figure out how to build up a little bit of something there just to give it a little bit more, because more is more, especially with, I say especially with Disney layouts all the time, but honestly, it's really with any layout, more is more, okay? Like, that's just the way I feel. So I'm adding some gold stars, and I'm making sure to include them across the stamped image and just kind of layer them up. And as you can see, I have one that kind of went off the page, and I did that on purpose because my stamping went off the page as well. So I'm just trying to figure out if I should be adding stars anywhere else. And I do pop a couple down here on the bottom, and completely happy with that. Now I am going to use these enamel dots, and I will use an entire row of the navy blue. I have no problems using enamel dots on my pages. I have no problems using up an entire row on a page. It just makes me happy. So I've got to figure out something up here, so I am going to journal a little bit. And I think once I get that journaling down, I think that's going to be it. I don't think I add much more to this layout. So the layout you can definitely see where it is scrap lifted, but it's also my own. Thanks for watching, guys.